Okay, Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone for our Saturday afternoon Bhakti Vriksha program. So actually today we are doing the class from the home of Naresh Prabhu Jyoti Mataji. So we'll start with Kirtan and then we'll continue with our discussion on Nectar of Devotion, continuing from where we left last time in our Tuesday class. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
टेक्स्टिंग करोगे आप
हमारा वीडियो चालू है
Rama Rama Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
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 Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Radha Kunja Bihari Radha Kunja Bihari Radhe
Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Radhe.
Jaya Radha Gopi Jana Vallabh Radha Gopi Jana Vallabh Radhe
Jaya Radha Gopi Janvallabh Radha Gopi Janvallabh Radhe.
Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe
Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe.
Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe
Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe.
Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe
Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe.
Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe
Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe.
Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jaya Nitai Gaur Sundar Jaya Nitai Gaur Sundar Jaya Nitai Gaur Sundar Jaya Nitai Gaur Sundar Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada
Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय हरे महामंत्र की जय राधा कुंज बिहारी भगवान की जय राधा जनवल्लभ भगवान की जय गौर निताय की जय नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय लाल गोपाल जी भगवान की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय Jai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
all glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Once again, welcome everyone for our Saturday afternoon Bhakti Vriksha class. As you all know, we are discussing Nectar of Devotion, and right now we are discussing 64 limbs of Bhakti. Okay, so how to do Bhakti? What are the various activities one should do, which is part of Bhakti? And there are certain things which to be avoided also, which is also part of the 64 limbs. So we had discussed first 10 limbs of Bhakti on last Saturday, and then we continued with another 8 or 10 in Tuesday class, where we were discussing various offenses to be avoided. Okay, and various offenses to be avoided. In that, we talked about there are various offenses to Archa Vigraha, offenses to spiritual master, offenses towards the holy name, offenses towards Dham. So there are different categories of offenses which one should avoid, which can otherwise choke our bhakti. So among offenses towards deity, we discussed few of them. One is one should not shout in front of the deity. One should not be angry at somebody in front of the deity. And what is the reason of that? Anybody knows that why you should not shout in front of the deities or be angry at somebody in front of the deity?
Negative vibration.
Okay, it's negative vibration, but there is more
Atmosphere will spoil.
Atmosphere will spoil. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we all are part and parcel of the Krishna, and Krishna will not like it.
Yes. Good. So we are all part and parcel of Krishna. And so basically, if you are shouting at somebody in front of the deities, right, yelling at somebody, being angry at somebody in front of Krishna, means you are shouting at children of Krishna, right? So just imagine somebody comes at your home and in front of you, they start yelling at your kids. How will you feel? Right? So same way when we are in the temple, when we are in front of the Lord, so all devotees assembled there, or people standing there, they are children of Krishna. So if we are being angry at somebody, yelling at somebody, Krishna will not like it. Right? Krishna is thinking he's coming in my home and he is shouting at my kids. So that is the reason one should not shout or yell or being angry at somebody in front of the deities. That is considered as an offense. So like that, we discussed many of the offenses towards Arsha Vigraha. One should not sit holding one's feet, ankles, or one should not point one's feet towards the Lord. One should not enter in front of the deities while sitting in the palanquin, or basically we should remove our shoes when we enter into the temple. So like that, we discussed many of these offenses to be avoided towards Archa Vigraha. So today we are going to continue with our discussion offenses towards the holy name. Okay, the offenses which to be avoided while chanting the holy name. In Padma Purana, there are 10 offenses listed towards the holy name, Nama Parad. Okay, so basically, what does offense do? What is the problem with offense? Offense is like negative marking for us. On one side, we are trying to progress in bhakti. On the other side, we are committing some offenses which takes us backward. Right? And I discussed last time that sometime we have been maybe in the process for long time, but we are not making tangible progress in bhakti. What could be the reason of that? One reason is having too much material desires. that we are not seriously practicing bhakti. Okay, we are maybe practicing bhakti considering it to be some just pious activity. That, oh, I want to be just a little pious person, so I am doing these activities. So we are doing bhakti just considering it to be little pious activity for material gain. So we are not very serious about bhakti. Second reason why we are not making progress is committing offenses. Okay, so we are committing offenses. We are taking 10 steps towards Krishna, then we are taking 8 steps back by committing offenses. So our progress seems to be very slow. But sometimes it's also happen that somebody commits so much offenses that it can completely take that person out of bhakti. So he may completely give up the process of bhakti and again go back into his old life, completely stop bhakti altogether. Okay, so that is why they say we have to avoid these offenses. Now, when we recite Srimad Bhagavatam, before we recite Bhagavatam, there is one verse we recite. Nashta prayashu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishchiki. So, by reciting Srimad Bhagavatam on regular basis, on daily basis, what does it do? Nashta prayashu abhadreshu. It removes all the abhadras from our heart. And what are these abhadras? This is basically all anarthas, okay, which is hidden inside our heart. Unwanted things which are hidden in our heart. So it removes all those abhadras, all those anarthas which are hidden in our heart, and then Krishna becomes fixed in the heart. So to make Krishna fixed in our heart means we have to remove these abhadras. And what are these abhadras? What are these various category of anarthas which are hidden in the heart? Some anarthas are coming because of previous sinful activities. Okay. So previously we have committed some sinful activities because of which these anarthas are there in the heart. Okay. And these also could be of different category. Different category means because of previous sinful activities, one is having too much of ego, okay, too much of envy towards others, too much of bodily consciousness, bodily concept of life. And so these are based on the previous sinful activities. Now there could be some anarthas which are also there because of previous pious activities also. Okay. So we have done some good activities in the past, some pious activities, because of which also some anarthas may be there. Right? Isn't that strange? Right? Because of the previous pious activities, now one may have some desire to enjoy, even though somebody may be in the mode of goodness, but there is still some material attachment, material desires to enjoy. Some anarthas are there because of improper practice of devotional service. Even though somebody is practicing devotional service, but their purpose of practicing devotional service is for getting some name, getting some fame, some prestige. Okay, so they have come to the process for this purpose, that I want to also become known among the society, among the group of people. Okay, so my desire is to become known, well known, famous, gain some name and fame, prestige, position. So that is the purpose of practicing devotional service. So imperfect practice of devotional service, that also leads to anarthas. And then the next category is because of committing offenses. Okay, because of committing offenses also one further develops anarthas. Which all these things which we have talked about, all various categories of anarthas, they keep us away from moving towards Krishna. So that's why these anarthas to be avoided, or these offenses also to be avoided. So in the category of namaparad, as I said, there are 10 namaparad, okay, very famously known as 10 namaparad, which are recited every morning. Okay, before we start chanting the holy name, there is a in the temples, you will see they recite these 10 offenses towards the holy name, which one should be guarding ourselves. So the first offense to the holy name, it's called Satama Ninda Namanah Paramam Aparadham Vitanute. Satama Ninda. So blaspheming of the devotees of the Lord, criticizing the devotees of the Lord who are preaching the glories of this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that is an offense to the holy name, to blaspheme the devotees of the Lord. Okay. So even though this is Satama Ninda, criticizing the devotees, but this is considered as Namaparad. In one sense, we can say this is Vaishnava Aparad. Right? This is Vaishnava Aparad, to offend somebody, to criticize somebody, to blaspheme somebody. But this offense to the Vaishnavas is also considered among Namaparad, offense to the holy name, because Nama Prabhu, Krishna, is non-different from his holy name. Abhinnatvam Nama Namino. So Krishna and his holy name are non-different. And when Krishna sees this person is trying to chant my holy name, but at the same time he is criticizing other devotees, so Krishna revokes his mercy. Krishna withdraw his mercy. So that's why this aparad is considered actually as the mad elephant offense. Mad elephant offense means as a mad elephant can enter in a garden and can cause havoc, right? He can destroy the complete garden. The same way this first namaparad, Satama Ninda, is so dangerous, it can completely uproot our bhakti lata. It can uproot our bhakti lata and our bhakti can be choked. And why does this Vaishnava aparad happen, or Satama Ninda? Why people criticize other devotees? Because either there is an attitude of so much of being critical, right? They have fault finding tendency. Okay, they are so much used to finding faults in others, so now they are finding fault with devotees. Oh, why did he do like that? Why did he do like that? So not trying to find fault, but thinking that, oh, this person is also trying to chant the holy name. He is also trying to progress in bhakti. Even though somebody may have fault, based on our previous conditioning, all are imperfect, right? Everybody is imperfect. Everybody has some fault associated with this. But not trying to become so critical about others and start fault finding. So this Satama Ninda, and especially when we start finding fault with senior devotees also, with advanced devotees also. In general sense, yes, we should not find fault with anybody, okay? Even to our equals or to our superiors. We should not find fault with others. Sometimes the guru may point out the mistake, but the intention is to correct that person. And when senior devotee are pointing at our mistake, one should not think, oh, he's doing fault finding with me. He is finding my fault, so he's doing Vaishnava aparad. Because it's their responsibility to point out at our mistake, to improve us, to correct us, so we can continue to progress in bhakti. But if we are finding fault with others out of envy, generally fault finding happen because of envy. Somebody is finding fault because either they are envious for some reason or other, because of feeling some insecurity. They are so having inferiority complex or insecurity, so they start finding fault with others. But one should be very careful to not find fault with others. If you at all see somebody's mistake, it is better to bring it to the attention of the right authorities. Okay, so they can look into that and they can correct that person, rather than we ourselves start going and starting to kind of blaspheme and blame and criticize. Because blaming others, right, when we unnecessarily blame others, falsely put allegation on others, it is very dangerous. Okay, I will tell you one story. This story is very commonly referenced. Okay, this story is quoted so many times. How dangerous it is to do false allegation on others. Okay, so you do not know who has caused the problem, but you start thinking, oh, this person is the cause of that. He has done this. And you start allegating that person, putting the allegation on that person. If that person has not done that, actually, it comes back to you. You are afflicted with that reaction. So once there was a king, and he was very charitable. He was following the Vedic culture. He was respecting the Brahmanas. He will invite Brahmanas at his home and arrange nice feast for them. So once this king, he had invited so many Brahmanas to come to his palace and to honor this feast. So many Brahmanas came, and the king had done nice arrangement to cook a nice feast. Okay. So they had made a outside in the open area. They had put all this open kitchen, and they were doing a lot of cooking there. And as they are doing the cooking, as they are making all those preparations, one eagle flew above from that area. Okay, and that eagle was carrying a snake in his beak. So as this eagle is flying over that area and the snake holding the snake in the beak, few drops of poison from snake's mouth fell into that area, and they went into one preparation. Nobody noticed that. Okay, all the cooks who were doing all these preparations, so nobody noticed this. So the meal was cooked and they served it to all the Brahmanas. Now, because there was poison in one preparation, in one item, all the Brahmanas ate that and everybody died. And the king was thinking, what happened? How did this happen? And king was under so much of anxiety and under so much of lamentation. Okay, how did this happen? But the time passed by, and so many people are having their own speculations. How did this happen and how did that happen? And ultimately, this king also left. He also died, and his son, he became the king. And he also followed into footstep of his father, following this culture, serving the Brahmanas. So one time, he again sent out the invitation to invite the Brahmanas to come and honor feast. So many Brahmanas from even the neighboring cities, nearby places are coming. And as they are coming, they are asking, oh, where is the pathway to the palace of the king? We are invited by the king. And the two women who were passing by, from whom they asked for this direction, and they say, oh, you are going to the king. He is known for killing the Brahmanas. And these Brahmanas were scared. Okay, what has happened? So they told, once he had invited so many Brahmanas and he killed all the Brahmanas by feeding them poison. So now what did these women do? They put allegation on the king, not knowing all what has happened. Even Yamaraj is not able to make a decision earlier on whose account the death of the killing of all these Brahmanas should to go. Did the king kill them? Did the cooks kill them? Did the snake kill them? Not really, because snake is also trying for his life. He is being held in the clutches of eagle, and snake is trying to escape. And in that situation, some few drops fell from his mouth. So that's not fault of snake also. So whom to blame? So Yamaraj is also not able to put on whose account all the killing of these Brahmanas, all the death of these Brahmanas should go to. And now, as soon as this woman said the king had killed all these Brahmanas because they put a false allegation on the king, Yamaraj immediately decided, okay, I have found on whose account the killing of all these Brahmanas should go to. Put all the sinful reaction of killing those Brahmanas into the account of these women. Why? False allegation. So blaming somebody, putting false allegation on somebody, it actually causes so much of reaction back on us. Sometimes we may not even know, like, why am I suffering in life? It may be happened because maybe we have done something wrong, which we do not know, we do not understand at that time. So putting false allegation, criticizing other person, blaming other person, especially when it comes to the Vaishnavas, it becomes as a Vaishnava aparadh, satama ninda. Okay, so one should be very careful not to commit Vaishnava aparadh or satam ninda. Now the second one in the category of nama aparadh.
One thing, Prabhu,
Yes.
sometimes in real life also we also get the affected allegations like that in family or anything. We need to prove or we need to wait until.
See now.
But we cannot. We don't have that much patience, right?
Right.
Time.
Okay, so that is a good point, good question. Sometimes we are falsely accused, right? Either within our family, by some relative or by society. So what should we do in that case? There are two ways you can react. One thing is, if you know, yes, I am innocent, I have not done anything wrong, they are falsely accusing me, and there is a way I can prove my innocence, right? So you can try to prove your innocence. Second, otherwise, just accept whatever they are trying to say, thinking they are my well-wishers. Okay, why? Because they are trying to remove my sinful reaction. When somebody is falsely accusing us, what is happening? Sinful reaction from your account as being transferred to their account. Isn't that your best well-wisher who is trying to take your sinful reaction into their account? Right? So if you can do something to prove that no, I have not done this, you have the right way to prove that, so you can do that. Otherwise, think it as Krishna's arrangement, that Krishna is trying to purify me, okay, through some other instrument. Now in the pastimes of Lord Krishna, we see Krishna was also accused. Okay, one famous story is the Shyamataka jewel pastime. Okay, so Satrajit had a jewel, Shyamataka jewel, which was producing so much of gold every day. And Krishna has approached at one occasion that you should give this in the treasury of the king. And he has refused. And his brother took that necklace once and he went for hunting. And he was killed. And Satrajit put the blame on Krishna. Krishna has killed my brother and he has forcibly taken that jewel. So what did Krishna do? Krishna says, I will prove my innocence. Okay, I will prove that I have not done anything. So Krishna went into the forest in search of his brother, and Krishna found what all has happened, that he was killed by a lion, and lion took that jewel. Further, that lion was killed by whom?
No,
The bear.
Yeah, what is the name?
Ramvan.
Jamavan. Okay, so that lion was killed by Jamavan, and he took the jewel. He gave the jewel to his children to play. So Krishna, he found that jewel, and then there was a fighting between Jamavant and Krishna. So finally, after so many days of fighting, that dual fighting between Jamavant and Krishna, then Jamavant understood he is none other than the Supreme Lord. And then he gave the jewel back and he married his daughter Jamavati also to Krishna. Right? So we know from this pastime of Krishna that Krishna said, okay, I'm going to prove my innocence. So if there is a easy way, if you can do something to prove your innocence, so okay, well and good. Otherwise, in general scenarios is that you accept it as Krishna's plan and be thankful to Krishna that I know I have not done anything wrong, and Krishna is trying to kind of purify me, remove my sinful reaction, putting into this person's account. And but ultimately you want to protect that person also, because that person is also your near and dear one, right? If somebody is in your family relative putting allegation on you, you don't want to have any harm on them also, so you want to protect them. So one should try their best to make them understand, okay, and understanding the consequences also. Okay, is that all right, Mataji? Does that answer your question? Okay, second offense to the holy name. If we go with that pace, we will not be able to complete 10 offenses also. Okay, so let's try to move a little faster, maybe a little briefly discussing this. So second offense is Shivasya Shri Vishnur Yah Eha Guna Nam Adi Sakalam Diya Bhinnam Pashyet Sah Kalau Harinam Ahit Karaha. Okay, Shivasya Shri Vishnur Yah Eha Guna Nam Adi Sakalam. So one can draw two meanings out of that. Okay, first meaning one can draw is the holy name of Vishnu is all auspicious. Shiva means all auspicious. Okay, so the holy name of the Lord is all auspicious. So Vishnu's name, form, qualities, pastime are all transcendental. If somebody tries to separate the holy name of the Lord from the Lord, okay, if somebody sees the holy name of the Lord different from the Lord, if somebody try to differentiate between the name, form, pastime, qualities of the Lord, he is committing an offense to the holy name. Okay, holy name is as powerful as the Lord. Okay, there is no difference between holy name and the Lord. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Nitya Shuddha Purna Mukta Abhinnat Twama Nama Namino. So there is no difference between Krishna and his holy name. It is pure and transcendental. But if somebody sees the difference between the name, form, qualities of the Lord, he is committing an offense to the Lord. So name is as powerful as the Lord. Actually, it says, Ram se bada Ram ka naam. Okay, we hear that statement also. Ram se bada Ram ka naam. Holy name is even more powerful than the Lord. Why? Because the Lord, when he was personally present, he delivered so many, but the name has been delivering since then. So many people have been delivered by taking shelter of the holy name. But when somebody hears the glories of the holy name, that will come next also. So they are considering the name to be different from the Lord. They are committing an offense. The second interpretation or the second aspect of this is to consider the name of other Devi Devatas to be equal to the name of the Lord. That is also an offense to the Lord. Okay, that is also an offense to the holy name. For example, if somebody, before coming into the process, okay, they are chanting Durga Naam or somebody else's Naam, Sai Baba Naam, and now they think, okay, I'm chanting this name, this person is chanting Hare Krishna, both are same thing, what is the difference? Okay, to consider the name of other Devi Devatas, chanting the holy name of other Devi Devatas versus chanting the name of Krishna, Lord Vishnu, Lord Ram, if they consider both to be same, they are committing an offense. Yes, by chanting the holy name or chanting the name of other Devi Devatas, somebody may be getting some benefit, some material benefit, some piety, but it cannot be equated to the holy name of the Lord. Okay, so generally, when somebody comes in the beginning in the process, they say, I'm chanting Ganesha name, I'm chanting Lord Shiva name. So we say, okay, you are chanting Lord Shiva's name, Ganesha's name, that's fine. Now add Mahamantra also. Okay, you do one round, one mala, Hare Krishna Mahamantra also. So in the beginning, we tell them to just encourage to chant the holy name. But ultimately, we have to convey, we have to make that person understand both are not equal. One should not think, what is the difference? Okay, I'm chanting this name or that name. How does it make any difference? Actually, that becomes an offense to the holy name. Okay, so one should be very careful. Now, third offense to the holy name is Gurur Avagya. Okay, Gurur Avagya, to not follow the instruction of the spiritual master. It is an offense to consider the spiritual master as some material ordinary person and therefore to envy his exalted position. Okay, so the guru, the spiritual master, he is giving us some instruction and one should try to follow those instructions. One should not think that, okay, now I have also understood the process, now I have also been practicing for so many years, I know better. Okay, now I know what is good for me, what is best in my situation. So one should not try to sideline Guru's instruction and start following his own method, or to think Guru as an ordinary person. Sometimes we think, because we have been seeing so many people from external basis, at the external level, how they look, how they speak, what is their level of education. So we try to judge people based on that. And if somebody try to judge Guru also based on these things, oh, Guru's accent, okay, he comes from a village background, so his accent is also dehat way of speaking. And if somebody starts seeing from this material point of view and start making fun of that, that becomes an offense to the Guru, and it becomes an offense to the holy name. Because with the mercy of the Guru, we are able to chant the holy name. But now if we are committing offenses to the Guru, again the holy name withdraw its mercy. So to not consider Guru to be an ordinary person, material person, and to not become envy of his position and commit offenses towards the Guru. The fourth one is Shruti Shastra Nindanam. Okay, it is an offense to blaspheme the Vedic literature, such as the Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, or any other literature which are speaking the glories of the Supreme Lord. Okay, so Shruti Shastra Nindanam. One should not offend or criticize, blaspheme the Vedic literature. Because the ultimate essence of the Vedas, ultimate essence of the Puranas is what? To establish the supremacy of the Supreme Lord. Okay, to glorify the position of the Lord, glorify the holy name. So one should not criticize the Shastras, thinking, oh, Shastras are outdated. Okay, I don't know who has created, who has made the Shastras, who has written the Shastras. Somebody, some sages, some old people sitting in the caves, they have written these Shastras. I don't know if that applicable still or not. How do I trust these? So if somebody is criticizing the Shastras, that becomes an offense to the holy name. Shruti Shastra Nindanam. So if we have any doubts, yes, we should try to clarify our doubt in a humble state of mind, that I am having difficulty understanding this. So that is why approaching a guru to clarify the doubts. But rather than starting to blaspheme the scriptures, the instructions of the scriptures, the fifth offense to the holy name is Arthavad. Arthavad means to give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. Okay, so the meaning of the holy name is very straightforward, is very clear. The meaning of the holy name is, oh Krishna, oh energy of Krishna, please engage me in your service. So we are chanting the holy name because the name is non-different from the Lord. But if somebody start giving their own interpretation to the holy name, yes, because Krishna has many names, Krishna and their different names have their different meaning. So meaning of the Hari is thief. Okay, one meaning of Hari is thief. So it doesn't mean that any thief you start considering him or start calling him as Hari. Okay, so if somebody start giving interpretation to the holy name, now one meaning of Krishna is also who is blackish in complexion, right? So if somebody start thinking black means darkness or black means ignorance, so Krishna is one who is in ignorance or one who cannot be known. Okay, because people sometimes they do this type of interpretation also to prove the supremacy of their deity to whom they believe. So they start interpreting the meanings of Krishna's name or the meaning of the holy name. So we cannot use our intelligence to give meaning to Krishna's name. So one should not try to falsely interpret the meaning of the holy name or the meaning of the Shastra. So that becomes Arthavad, which becomes also an offense to the holy name. The sixth offense is Hari Namani Kalpanam. Okay, to consider the name of the Lord to be imaginary. So it is offensive to consider the holy name of the Lord as imagination. Hari Namani Kalpanam. Why? Thinking that this is all imagination of these people who are chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Holy name cannot be that powerful. We are saying the holy name is so powerful. By chanting one name of Krishna, can remove as many sins which one may not have committed. Okay, it is so powerful. It can remove as much sins which one is not even able to commit. And one may think, how can that be possible? This is all imagination. They are speaking so much, doing this exaggeration to kind of have us chant the holy name, make us chant the holy name. So in that way, they are just giving or thinking the holy name to be imagination. And then the next one, नामनो बलाद् यस्य हि पाप बुद्धिर न विद्यते तस्य यमहे हि शुद्धि. The greatest offense at the lotus feet of the holy name is to think that since chanting the holy name can counteract all sinful reaction, one can therefore go on sinning and at the same time chant the holy name, thinking it will counteract my sins. So namno balad yasya hi papa buddhir. Commit the sinful activities on the strength of chanting the holy name. Okay, so intentionally somebody is chanting the holy name also, but intentionally committing some wrong sinful activities also, thinking अरे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, आज 2 माला किया था तो 2 पाप भी कर लिया तो भगवान उसको न्यूट्रलाइज कर देंगे, so he will take care of that offense. So that becomes an offense. So accidentally if somebody makes some mistake, that yes, Krishna can forgive that. See, Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter, Api chetasu duracharo bhajte mam ananya bhak. If somebody is more sinful also, by chanting of the holy name, that person can become purified. But it does not mean that while chanting the holy name, one continue with his sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Okay, so basically if somebody has the tendency to commit offenses by making plans, somebody is making plan that okay, today I'm going to cheat that person, or I'm going to physically harm that person. So intentionally making the plan and thinking that okay, I will do that and then I will chant Hare Krishna, so it will neutralize. That becomes even a bigger offense and it will choke up one's bhakti. So one should not commit offenses on the strength of chanting the holy name. And the pastime which we refer to, Ajamila's pastime, okay, generally Ajamila, at the end of his life, he was saved from the Yamaraj, from the Yamadutas, because he called out Narayana, Narayana, and all his previous sins were immediately nullified. Why? Because in that helpless situation, he called out to Narayan, even though he was calling the name of his son. Okay, his son was named Narayan. But because he called Narayan, Lord took it to be calling his name and removed all his previous sinful reaction. But now taking the example of this pastime, if somebody start thinking, Hare Ajamila also did so many sins throughout his life, but at the end he chanted Narayan, Narayan and he was saved. So I will also continue like that. I will continue committing sinful activities, and at the end of my life, I will also say Narayan, Narayan, or I will say Krishna, Krishna, so I will be saved. No, that mentality now becomes an offense. Why? Because we are thinking to continue committing sins on the strength of chanting the holy name. In case of Ajamila, he called out Narayan in that helpless situation. So he was given a second chance. Okay. It's not that he was immediately completely purified and taken back to Vaikuntha. He was given a second chance. So after that he corrected himself. He went to Haridwar. He performed austerities. He engaged himself in chanting of the holy name without any offenses. And then after that practice of 10, 11 years, then he went back to Godhead. So he was given a second chance. Now, in our case, if we continue committing sinful activities on the strength of chanting, then it will become even a bigger problem. The next one, number 8, Dharma Vrata Tyaga Hutadi Sarva Shubha Kriya samyam api pramada. It is an offense to consider the chanting of the holy name equal to performance of ordinary religious ceremonies or fire sacrifice or observing some other austerities or vows, all of which are materialistic auspicious activities. So dharma, vrata, tyaga, huta, performing all these other ritualistic activities, and if somebody start thinking those are all also equal to chanting of the holy name, that is also an offense. Doing certain austerities, some tyaga, some huta, okay, those are auspicious activities which can give us some piety. But if somebody think they are equal to performing, equal to chanting of the holy name, it's a big offense. Because there are statements from the Puranas that chanting of the holy name surpasses even performing so many of thousands of Ashwamedha Yajna. Okay, so one should not think that, oh, I have done yajna, I have done some charity, I have done some other, followed some vows, or I have done some other vrata, okay, some 16 Somvar vrata or Navratra vrata. So this is equal to chanting of the holy name. So those, all those vratas, yes, those are giving us some pious result, but they cannot be compared equal to chanting of the holy name. And then the 9th one, ashraddhadhane vimukhe api ashnavati yaschaupadesh shiva namaparada. It is an offense to preach the glories of the holy name to those unwilling to hear, to atheists or to those who have no faith in chanting of the holy name. Now this one should understand clearly. Okay, what is the purport behind this one? Ashraddhadhane vimukhe api ashnavati yaschaupadesha shiva namaparada. To speak the glories of the holy name in front of an atheistic person or somebody who's unwilling to hear is an offense. Now, it is not to think that, okay, I will not give the holy name to anybody because I don't know if that person is atheist or if that person is uninterested. But we go everywhere and we chant the holy name, right? And we try to engage people in chanting the holy name. Yes, we should give the holy name to others, but one should not speak too much about the glories of the holy name, since till they have developed some interest, some inquisitiveness. Even if somebody unknowingly chant the holy name, it is going to give them benefit. But if somebody is not interested to hear and you start speaking about the glories of the holy name, oh, holy name is so powerful, it can remove so much of reaction, it is so powerful, it is beyond all these different activities, ritualistic activities, and that person has no faith, he will start criticizing. Okay, he will start blaspheming. And in that way, he will go even further away from the Lord. So to protect the person from committing such offenses, that is why it is said one should not speak the glories of the holy name, but one should give the holy name to everybody. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling all over the North India and South India, and he was chanting the holy name, giving the holy name to everybody. Nityananda Prabhu will go door to door, begging people, Bhai tere paun padun ek baar hari bol. So they are distributing the holy name. But the glories of the holy name to be spoken when somebody is inquiring about that or somebody is interested in hearing about those. Okay, otherwise, that person may become more envious to the holy name by hearing the glories of the name, thinking it's exaggeration, it is imaginary. And in that way, that person will actually go more away from the Lord. And the last one, Shrutvapi Nam Mahatmyam Yah Priti Rahito Adhamah Aham Mam Idi Aham Mamadi Paramo Namni So Api Aparadakrit. So Shrutva Api Nam Mahatmya. After hearing the glories of the holy name, after hearing so many discourses on this subject matter, after hearing the glories of Bhakti, if somebody does not develop the attraction for the holy name, if somebody does not start chanting the holy name, does not develop that attraction for the holy name, and he maintains his I and mine attitude, aham mamadi paramo namni so api aparadakrit, he is also committing an offenses to the holy name. So the way it is translated is to maintain material attachment even after hearing the glories of the holy name, and not to develop attraction for chanting the holy name. That is an offense to the holy name. We have heard so many discourses. If we are not the body, we are the spirit soul. One should not become so attached to the body for the comforts of the body. And if somebody is maintaining those attachments, I am this, I am that, and all this belong to me, to this body. So having that aham mamadi mentality and not develop attraction for the holy name, it is an offense. And pastime of Shiva's Acharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will go to Shiva's Angan, okay, and perform kirtan, and very close circle of devotees will come join in that kirtan. And one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Shiva's Angan and he is dancing and chanting in ecstasy, and all of a sudden inside from the house of Shiva's, from the room, the voices of somebody's loud crying started coming. Okay, and Shrivas immediately went inside. Who is crying? Why they are crying? And he saw his wife was crying. Shrivas's wife was crying because their son had died. Okay, Shrivas's son died, and his wife was crying. What happened to our son? Why he is not waking up? And she was weeping and crying, and Shrivas went inside. He said, "Stop crying. Why are you so much crying? Our son has died. What do you mean? Why are you crying?" Shriva said, "Which son? We may have so many births, we have may taken so many births, we had so many parents, we had so many children, and you are crying, it will disturb the kirtan of Mahaprabhu. If Mahaprabhu's kirtan is disturbed, I will tie a stone to my neck and I will drown myself into Ganges. So please stop crying. Don't disturb Mahaprabhu's kirtan. We can cry later. Ultimately, this is all related to this body. So let me participate in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's kirtan. And what is this example demonstrating? Having faith in the holy name, that ultimately all related to this body, our body and everything related to this body is ultimately going to go away. And we should try to develop our attraction for the holy name. So after hearing so much about the holy name, the glories of the holy name, the glories of devotion service, if one is not coming to the practice of devotion service, it is like an offense. And then api pramadaha, this is considered as like 11th offense. Okay, api pramadaha, it is an offense to be inattentive while chanting, because we should put our full attention on the holy name when we are chanting the holy name, because name is not different from Krishna. So if we are chanting the holy name, but our whole attention is running here and there, okay, thinking about our own things, thinking about our own honor, our own problems, and we are completely absorbed in those, and just verbally we are just chanting the holy name. Okay, tongue is vibrating, but our whole consciousness is just going here and there. That is an offense to the holy name. Just like if the president of the country comes to your home, okay, his helicopter has landed on your roof, and he is outside on your door knocking, and you are not even paying attention. You are not even opening the door. It will be like a big offense to the president, right? That we are completely neglecting him, ignoring him. The same way we are calling Krishna, we are calling his name, and but our whole consciousness, attention is somewhere else, thinking about our own. We are in our own world. So that becomes an offense to the holy name. So that's why one should be attentive while chanting. Yes, that is the problem with the mind. Mind try to go here and there, but one should try their best to bring the mind back. Okay, understand that yes, mind has started going here and there, and tell your mind, please come back. Let's both sit here and chant the holy name, and we will talk about this problem. We'll think about this problem later. So bringing the mind back. So being attentive, okay, because inattentive is also an offense to the holy name. So it says every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. So these 10 offenses we recite, just the translations, we recite every morning, okay, basically in temples after Arati, before the chanting is starting, these 10 offenses are recited. So we can be cautious about not committing these offenses. Now, this Vaishnava Satama Ninda and being inattentive in chanting, this is all because we are so preoccupied in our own world, right? And that's why out of ignorance, we commit these offenses, be it inattentive or being it criticizing others. Why? Because we are too much into our own world. Somebody may think, I have too many problems in life. Okay? My work is too busy. And their whole attention is just running towards work. But one should think, if you think my work is busy, there are so many people who may be too much busy actually. Our busyness may be not anything in comparison to them. People are working 15 hours, 16 hours to earn their livelihood. Compared to them, actually, we are much better, that we don't have to struggle so hard. But if we keep thinking, oh, I have problem, I have problem, I have problem, then Krishna will say, okay, your whole consciousness is fixed on problem. That is what you want, tathastu. Right? So that is what, because our whole consciousness, rather than thinking of Krishna, we are thinking about our problem. And somebody may think, I am too much stressed out. I have so much stress in life. If we think my stress is too much, maybe we don't even know what is stress. Right? There are so many people who are so stressed out, even in work situations. Sometimes people are so stressed out that they have no time for their family, they have no time for anything. There is so much of stress to maintain their goals, to maintain their what do you call, deadlines. So there's so much stress. People are suffering from stress, people are suffering from anxiety, people are suffering from depression. And if we start thinking with small problems, oh, I'm stressed out, that is actually, we are not able to see what problems people have outside. We should feel blessed, we should feel grateful to Krishna, that Krishna, you have given me such a good life, that I am able to practice bhakti. So all these small things, be it work related problems, your stress level, family problems, health problems, so all these things, our mind becomes so preoccupied with all these things, and because of that, actually all these so many offenses happen. So what is the solution? Rather than being focused on our own problems in life, we should think grateful about whatever we have. If we should feel grateful about what we have, and that will help us to divert our attention from our problem and put our attention on Krishna. In Bhagavatam, there are so many prayers by so many wonderful devotees. Uttara, when she was attacked by Brahmastra, okay, when who was that person? Ashvathama. When Ashvathama shot Brahmastra on Uttara's womb, Uttara is running to Krishna for help. Okay, Uttara did not take shelter of anything else. Pandavas were there, they are all very powerful. But Uttara is running towards Krishna for help, calling out to Krishna, praying to Krishna, please help me, please help me. Pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate na anyam tavad abhayam pashye mrityu sansara parasparam. Okay, in this world of death, okay, where everywhere there is death, I do not see any other shelter. Na anyam. So I do not see any other shelter. Tavad abhayam pashye. Who can give me abhay? I do not see any other shelter apart from you who can give me fearlessness. And same way when Arjuna was going behind Ashwatthama, when Arjuna was chasing Ashwatthama after Ashwatthama had killed the 5 sons of Draupadi, Ashwatthama shot Brahmastra at that time. And seeing Ashwatthama shooting his Brahmastra, Arjuna turned towards Krishna and prayed to Krishna. What was Arjuna's prayer also that time? So Arjuna also prayed, Krishna, Krishna, Mahabaho, Bhaktanam Abhyankaraha. Krishna, you are the most powerful. You can give fearlessness to your devotees. Okay, you can make your devotees fearless. So we should become fearless, thinking I have come to such a beautiful process of Krishna consciousness. Krishna is going to take care of me. Krishna is going to protect me. Krishna is going to help me. But I should seriously and sincerely take shelter of Krishna and come out of my own bubble of my own problems. So these are the different offenses which we discussed, that one should try to avoid offenses towards the holy name. And after these offenses towards the holy name, in this chapter, we're continuing towards maybe a few more points of can you plug in? I forgot to plug in the charger.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. So after that, moving on to in the list of 64 limbs of bhakti, it continues. Where was I? So blasphemy, to hear the blasphemy towards the Supreme Lord or the devotees of the Lord. So one should be very intolerant towards the blasphemy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna and his devotees. So we, in the Namaprad, we discussed one should himself not criticize the devotees. But if somebody else is criticizing the devotee or the Supreme Lord in front of you, then what you should do? Okay. So in the 64 limbs of bhakti, it says one should be very intolerant towards the blasphemy of the Supreme Lord or his devotees. So in general, one should be very tolerant. Okay, if somebody is criticizing us, one should tolerate that. Okay, he is criticizing me, that's fine, I can tolerate. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching, Trinadapi Shunichena Taroreva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtanya Sadahari. Right? One should be more tolerant than a tree, more humble than a blade of grass, giving respect to everybody, not seeking respect from anybody. In that state of mind, one should chant the holy name always. So when it comes to our own honor, if somebody is criticizing us, blaspheming us, one should try to tolerate. But if somebody is criticizing other devotee, okay, blasphemy other devotee in front of us, then one should not tolerate. So there are 3 methods given in the scripture, how one should react in those situations. First thing is, if somebody, the scriptures actually says if somebody is criticizing any devotee or gurus, senior Vaishnavas in front of you, if one has the courage, one should cut off his tongue. Okay, कि उसका जीप काट लेना चाहिए. So maybe we cannot do that extreme stage. So it says one should defeat that person in argument. If somebody is blaspheming other person, one should defeat that person in argument and make him stop criticizing the devotee. If one is not able to do that, one should not maintain one's own life. Better one give up his own life. If somebody is criticizing other devotees and you have to stand there, hear that, better you give up your life. Okay, that is the verdict of scriptures. Now, who did that? Sati. Okay, Lord Shiva was being criticized by Daksha. So Daksha Prajapati was performing that yajna, and in that yajna, he has not invited Shiva. And Sati said, my father is doing yajna, everybody else is going, I should go, I must go, I will have the opportunity to meet my parents, meet my sisters. And even though Shiva tried to stop her, that I know what is Daksha's intention, Daksha's mind is, but Sati did not listen. And finally, Shiva said, okay, what can I do? If you want to go, so Shiva made arrangement by his ganas to go take Sati to the house of Daksha. So as Sati came there, Daksha did not pay any attention to Sati. And he started criticizing Shiva. And at that time, because Sati said, I am hearing the blasphemy about a Vaishnava, okay, a blasphemy about my husband, I should not keep my life. I should not maintain my life. So she gave up her own life. With yoga, she evoked fire from the body with his yoga. Basically, she evoked the yoga agni and gave up her life in that. So the scripture says if somebody is blaspheming a devotee in front of you, either you defeat that person, cut off his tongue, or defeat that person, or you give up your own life. You cannot do that also. The easiest way, don't stand there and keep hearing the blasphemy, keep hearing the criticism. Immediately walk away from that place. Okay, don't stand there and keep hearing that blasphemy. Better you just give up that place immediately and go away from that place. So one should be very intolerant towards the blasphemy of the Supreme Lord or his devotees. And the next important point here, should I continue or stop here? What does everybody think?
Continue, Prabhuji.
Continue.
Yes.
Or we can take some question answers.
We don't mind, Prabhuji, even if you continue. You can ask the other devotees as well.
Okay. Naresh Prabhu, what do you think?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, we will do maybe 2 or 3 more. Okay, 2 or 3 more points. So the next point in the 64 limbs of Bhakti is one should decorate one's body with tilka or other Vaishnava signs. Okay, so we should put tilka in our body. The principle is this body is the temple of the Lord. The Lord resides in the body, okay, as Paramatma. So this body belongs to the Lord. It's like the temple of the Lord, and we should decorate the body. As on a temple, there are signs of Lord Vishnu, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padam. So people in the temple building, you see some signs, right, which represent that this building belongs to the Lord. So same way, this body belongs to the Lord. It's the temple of the Lord. So one should decorate the body with tilaka. So on our body, we say, okay, put tilaka on your forehead. Okay. There are 12 places actually. The Vaishnava should put tilka on 12 places on the body. So forehead, neck, chest, stomach, both sides of the waist, and then both arms, arm and shoulder, so both sides, and then lower back and upper back. Okay, so it makes total 12 tilaka. So one should decorate one's body with the tilaka, signifying this body belongs to the Lord. And by putting the tilaka, what happens actually, when somebody sees us with tilaka also, that person is also reminded of the Lord. Okay, so that is the benefit. And decorating the body with the tilaka, or also we say kantimala. Okay, decorating the body with the kantimala, wearing the kantimala in the neck. Because by seeing the tilaka on the body, seeing the kantimala in the neck, even the Yamadutas do not approach the person. The person is protected from the Yamadutas. Yamadutas have no jurisdiction on that person. They cannot touch that person. So considering that benefit, everybody should wear kantimala. Everybody should decorate their foreheads with tilak. If you cannot do all the time at all the places, at least when we are coming for satsang program, when we are visiting temple, so at least that time one should decorate one's forehead with the tilak. Okay, and so decorating the body with tilak, also it says in marking such tilaka, sometime one may write Hare Krishna on the body or similar other names of Krishna, but one should be careful where to write and what to draw. Okay, it's not that like people draw tattoos, so I can draw Hare Krishna on my body. So because the tattoo becomes as a permanent thing, the tilak is washable. So when you are in the restroom, when you take shower, this can go. But if you are putting permanent names of Krishna on some part of your body, now name is not different from Krishna, right? And if somebody is putting the permanent tattoo on their hand, okay, writing Krishna on the hand, or writing Krishna on some other limbs, first of all, it says one should not do that anywhere below waist. Okay, all the tilaka marking is also above waist. Okay, there is no tilaka marking which is done below waist. So same way, even if somebody permanently doing writing the names of Krishna also, it should be, one should be careful where to write and how to write, because if somebody is writing on the hand and you are going to the restroom, now your hand is used in cleaning, right? So you are not considering any rules of Shuchi and Muchi. So that's why one should be careful where to write, what to write. So one can draw the names, like in Vrindavan you go. There are so many kids, so many children, they are carrying those tilaka, some boxes, and they want to put on your forehead, Radhe Radhe, okay, Jai Shri Krishna. They are drawing those. But those are not permanent marks, and those are done only on the face. So one can draw such tilaka and write Hare Krishna on the body, but be careful about how to do, where to do, so that you are not unknowingly committing any offenses. And next one is, one should accept the flowers and garlands that have been offered to the deity and the spiritual master and put them on one's body. Okay, so one should accept the garlands and flowers which are offered to the Lord or the spiritual master and put them on your body. Okay, because by in the scriptures it says, when we are offered any garland which has been first offered to the Lord, we wear that garland, it removes all your previous sinful reaction. And if somebody is in a diseased condition also, it can remove that diseased condition also. Okay, any future suffering. So wearing the flowers, the garlands, the itra which is used on the Lord is very, very pure. It removes all previous sinful reaction. That's why in the temple, when the speaker is giving class, they will offer garland. Or in the morning, we offer the flower to the Lord and they pass on the flower for everybody. Or the itra, which is offered to the Lord, we pass on that itra for everybody to smell. So by accepting those, one is removing all their previous sinful reaction. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, there is a very beautiful verse. Uddhava is telling Krishna. Uddhava is a very wonderful devotee. He is such an exalted devotee. He does not accept anything which is not first offered to Krishna. Uddhava wears the clothes also which has been earlier used by Krishna. Okay, Uddhava does not eat anything which is first not offered to Krishna. And Uddhava says, Tvaya upyukta gandha vas alankara charchita. Whatever has been offered to you, okay, which has been used by you, be it the flower, the garland, the itra, the clothes, the ornaments, or even the food which has been first offered to you. Your devotees accept that. Okay, and we become purified by accepting that. So one should be not feeling shame or shy that, oh, how can I wear the garland? Sometimes we offer the garland to somebody and they will just take it. They don't want to wear. They feel so shy. But one should understand, wearing the garland which is offered to the Lord is very, very pure and it is very auspicious for you. But at the same time, one should not make the garlands for his personal use or accept the garland or flower for his own use. Okay? If somebody has come to your home and offered you a bouquet, first offer that to the Lord. If somebody is accepting any flowers, garlands for his own glorification, he also becomes inflicted by sin. So offering it to the Lord first and then accepting that. So just touching it to the photo of the Lord, okay, photo of spiritual master, and then accepting it. So then it becomes perfect. One should learn to dance before the deity. Okay, this will be the last one and we'll stop after this. So one should learn to dance before the deity. Now, when we come to the temple or satsang program during the kirtan, we are dancing, right? Sometimes there's so many times we are dancing in the kirtan. Why? Because one should dance before the deity and that is pleasing to the Lord. It's like the Lord is the audience and you are on the stage performing and Lord is watching you. So one should, for the pleasure of the Lord, one should learn to dance. Okay, one should dance. Even though you don't know how to dance, just try to dance. Even if you don't dance nicely, the Lord is pleased when you participate for his pleasure. Okay? When we dance in the kirtan, when we clap in the kirtan, it says it drives away all the sins from our life. Okay? As by when we clap, the birds on the tree fly away, right? By hearing the noise of clapping. So same way, when we are clapping in kirtan, it is driving away the birds of sin from our life. So one should clap in kirtan, one should dance in kirtan for the pleasure of the Lord. If we are not clapping in the kirtan, if we are not dancing in the kirtan, it means we are against Krishna. Okay, you know what? When some politician, their rally is going, okay, and you are maybe supporting the opponent, right? So one particular politician is going by, his rally is going by, but you are in support of the other party. So in that case, what you do, you keep standing there, right? You don't react, you don't do anything because you are on the side of the opponent. The same way in the kirtan, if you're not clapping, if you're not dancing, means you are affiliating yourself to the opponent. Ram ka opponent kaun hai? Ravan. So if we are not on the side of Ram, it means we are on the side of Ravan. So that's why it says one should clap in kirtan and dance in front of the Lord for his pleasure. And it is for our own benefit. It will drive away all our previous sinful reaction and it will purify us. So these are some of the limbs of devotional service which we discussed today, and definitely of course we'll continue moving forward. We'll continue the remaining ones, but I will stop here today and see if there are any questions or comments. Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments? Naresh Prabhu, Mataji, you have any question, comment? Okay, anybody online? Okay, if no question, comment, I think we'll end it here then. Okay, thank you all so much for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare